Hello everyone, this is Janice, and I'm here with another Christmas card. I know I said I was going to make some tags for my presents, but I did want to make a gingerbread man card this year, and so I wanted to share it with you. The gingerbread man comes from Winter Frolic, and he is, let's see, I don't know, is he here? He is on page 61 of Winter Frolic, and I cut out his, main piece here, and then the shift. But I hid on the hide contour on my gypsy. I hid all of his little face features because I wanted to use peachy keen, and I wanted to use some little Skittles for his buttons. Okay, so let's get started. And these are just two different variations. I used two different peachy keen faces. I was just playing around, and used different sizes of paper because it was just like an 8x8 piece of paper, this one, so I didn't have enough, so I just did that. And I used this corner chomper. I used the stub side. This is the stub side. That's what that looks like. And then the deco side is this one. So that's what we're going to do right now, is the one that looks like this one. I just smushed, this was the one I just made this a few minutes ago. Actually, I've been working on these the last few minutes, and I messed up the Skittles on there, the stickles. Alright, so the card base, I didn't even cut it yet. It's an 8.5 by 11, cut in half. The 8.5, I just cut it at 4 1/4, and then you have enough for 2 cards, and then you just fold it in half, and that's an A2 size card. Some more light in here. Okay, and so we have another base for another card. Then I've got this green, and this was a scrap from, actually I want to say it's like I've had it for 2 or 3 years. Yeah, like 2 years I think, maybe 3. And I think I'm going to do the stub. I think I like that one better. I'm just doing all the layers at once to save time. And then I'm just going to take some walnut stain, distress ink. I'm just going to ink up the edges of this paper. I didn't give you any dimensions, sorry about that. This here I cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4, and this is just a little bit smaller. This one is 3 3/4 by 5. And the sponge I'm using, I just got this at Michael's yesterday. They're those round sponges. I'll show you what it looks like in case you're not sure what this is. I always see the Stampin' Up! Ladies using them, and I've seen them at Michael's, so I picked them up. Looks like that, synthetic sponge. And then I just took it and I cut it in half. I mean, I cut it in half and then I cut it half and then half. So it's really an eighth. All right. So that's enough of that. And I'm just going to adhere these two layers together. I'm just going to take this fuzzy ribbon that I had found at Michael's. Just going to add these. These are going to be for my neighbors because I always make cookies and give them out to my neighbors for Christmas. And we're going to have an outing this week. All of us, we're going to go to the park and play, and so yes, and play, because if you don't know that I live in Florida, I do, and we're like in the 70s here, so yeah, the kids are out of school. Their kids are out of school. I homeschool my son, so we'll still be doing school. And but anyway, we'll take a break and go to the park and play with our friends. So I'm making these for them. Okay, so that part's done. The sentiment I used is Holiday Wishes. Let's see if you can see this. Holiday Wishes and Gingerbread Kisses. So cute. And that is Winter Wishes from Scrappy Moms. And I just have a piece of white paper cut at 1 3/4, and I'm gonna stamp it right here. And I wanted it to be a really dark brown, and I wanted it embossed. So first I'm gonna take it and put it in the Versamark, and then I'm gonna use this rich cocoa. I really like how dark this brown is. So and then we're going to heat emboss that. I want to cut it like a little banner. So I'm just going to go here and kind of go in about halfway, and then halfway. And then I'm going to ink these edges. Just trying to keep this really simple. I'm just going to adhere that to the bottom in the middle. And I also want to ink up my little gingerbread guy. I didn't even tell you what size he is. I cut him at 4 inches. And I'm just going to do the walnut stain around the edges again, just to make him look like a cookie. Like a baked cookie with the dark around the edges. And then this is his icing. I cut it out of some Recollections pearlescent paper that you probably can't tell on camera that it is pearlescent. And I'm going to use some of this glue, liquid glue. Just a fine bead of glue. This cut is really bendy, and that's why I'm using this glue. I actually have quick dry, Scotch quick dry in this bottle, and so because if I use my two-way glue, I know it's going to want to lift up because it's like a bendy, I don't know how to explain it, but it just lifts up. But with this glue, it's good for quick dry. Okay. Now I have a peachy keen face, which I really should have done this before I did any of the inking, or the gluing, because I'm going to emboss his little face, and I need to clean him off before I put in the Versamark. That's just my stamp cleaner. To emboss that. Emboss it. Trying not to get it in the glue. Okay. And then he's going to get popped up right there. I'm going to use some fun foam. This little paper is stuck to my fingers. Alright, so there we go, and I'm going to color in the whites of his eyes just to brighten up his face. I'm just taking this Jelly Roll pen, which is my favorite kind of white gel pen, and I'm just coloring in right there, and right there, and then that little bright spot. Okay. And then now he just needs his buttons, which I'll show you what these are. They're not, real skittles. They are, I can pour them in there. They look like this. You get them in the floral department of the craft store. And I colored mine with alcohol ink. a while back. I did a video on that because I think that's so great. And so, however, this is not the right, although, you know, for this paper, it looks like it's fine. That color red is fine. I think it matches just fine. But I wanted it to be glittery so it would look like gumdrops. So what I'm doing is I'm actually gluing them down with this Scotch Quick Dry. I know it's not in the right bottle. I just like this bottle, so I'm pre-purposing it because I have a whole bottle of Scotch Quick Dry and I don't use it because I don't like how it squirts out of the bottle. So since I like this bottle, I filled it up with Scotch Quick Dry. So that's what's really in there. Then I'm going to take my Christmas red Skittles and I'm going to put it all over the buttons to make them look like candy. But you know, we could use any color. I mean, if you want it to look like sugar, you could just use, you know, a clear one. But I really like the way it looks with this red color. But I wanted you to know that you can also color them with Sharpie markers. And it would be even a deeper red. I'll show you the difference. I didn't color that one. See this one? See how rich? I don't know if you can tell the difference. Probably not. This is a richer red because I colored it with the Sharpie before I put the red stickles on it. And I'll show you. I use one of these. See, I have a bunch of colors. And this is supposed to be red. It's just not the right shade of red that I wanted. So what I did is I took it and you can color it in. Can't even see because it's getting dark in here. Does it smell better? I think I'm losing light bulbs or something. I'll open the shades up here, the blinds. But anyway, you can color it and you see it turns into a much deeper color of red. And it goes the same with the Bic markets. So that's something you can do. You could also use, like I said, the alcohol inks to color.